was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
the shopping thing is
yes,
so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr.
This is where the story takes a darker, more unsettling turn. When 50 Cent's documentary Diddy, The Reckoning dropped on Netflix and surged to #1 in both the US and the UK, it sent shockwaves through the culture. Social media exploded. Industry figures rushed to comment. Reactions poured in from every corner of hip-hop and entertainment. But one voice was conspicuously absent. Snoop Dogg, a man known for weighing in on almost everything, hip-hop, politics, pop culture, controversy, suddenly went silent. No post, no comment, no distancing statement, nothing. And that silence didn't go unnoticed. Because Snoop's connection to Diddy wasn't casual or distant. It was deep, long-standing, and personal. Snoop himself has publicly spoken about how closely their families were intertwined. Their children grew up together, attended the same schools, followed similar career paths, and spent years moving in the same social circles. Those ties were reinforced through Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner, who played a central role in keeping those family bonds close. So when the documentary reignited serious allegations and public scrutiny, and Snoop disappeared instead of addressing it, even neutrally, people started asking uncomfortable questions. Not accusations. Questions. Observations. Patterns. Online, old interviews resurfaced. Archive footage began circulating. Second-hand accounts were revisited. Some alleged that Snoop had been present in the same environments now being scrutinized. Environments tied to what accusers in the documentary describe as a so-called freak-off culture. Again, none of this has been proven in court. No formal findings. No charges. But in moments like this, silence becomes part of the narrative. Former insiders have also come forward claiming that this culture, whether exaggerated or not, was an open secret for years, one sustained not by direct action, but by loyalty, omission, and powerful figures choosing not to speak. Ako.
Celebrating his doc, the Reckoning, Sean Combs' The Reckoning being not only #1 in the US, but now #1 in the UK. And he posted some flowers, and y'all know 50 love being funny.
And this is where things turn unsettling. People close to Kim Porter have long claimed she hinted at seeing things she didn't feel safe speaking about publicly. Unproven, undocumented, but enough for many to believe that 50 Cent's Diddy. The Reckoning isn't just about one man. It's about an entire ecosystem built on silence, fear, and proximity to power. Which brings the focus back to Snoop Dogg. Whether his sudden disappearance is self-protection, legal caution, or coincidence remains unclear. But in an era where celebrities rush to control narratives, total silence stands out. Especially when the documentary exploded to #1 and one of hip-hop's loudest voices went quiet overnight. Snoop and Diddy weren't casual associates. Their families were intertwined. Their children grew up together. Their bond went far beyond business. So when allegations resurfaced, many expected at least a neutral response. Instead, there was nothing, and that silence has sent fans back through old interviews, old clips, and unresolved moments in hip-hop history. Not as proof, but as patterns being re-examined under a harsher light. This isn't about guilt. It's about proximity, power, and who stays quiet when the spotlight turns on. Because whether these stories hold up or fall apart, one thing is clear. The documentary didn't just reopen Diddy's past. It reopened everyone's.
Good. Happy to have you back, my man.
Man, I ain't went nowhere. I'm closer than you think.
Yeah, man, I had to run it back. I mean, the people rock with you, so, it was only right, man. So I gotta ask you, because over the years, man, there's been a lot of confusion.
So, Snoop didn't go nowhere near the hospital. So when it happened, as you know, for some strange reason, but now we know the real reason, Snoop did not attend the fight with us or the after party at Club 662. And it was so crazy about that, we thought it was strange that he wasn't there. This is the first one he did attend. And according to Warren G and everybody else, now we know why he didn't. But to get straight to the point was this. I was at my house in Vegas, and I started calling Snoop, telling him, hey, what's up? You know, like it's something wrong with this situation. Pac in the hospital, come holler at him, come check on him. So he drove down, and I was at the house waiting on him. And Tupac's mother was at.
And this isn't a radio interview or a PR cleanup tour. This is the Second Circuit Federal Appeals Court, a place where judges don't care who you were in 1999 or how iconic your brand once was. And while 50 Cent's documentary doesn't decide an appeal, it does something just as powerful. It strips Diddy of the benefit of the doubt. It reframes him from a defendant arguing legal error into a symbol of a long-running pattern of manipulation, making it institutionally risky for any judge to step in on his behalf. Appeals aren't won by popularity. They're won when judges feel safe intervening. And right now, helping Diddy reportedly looks radioactive. Appellate courts care deeply about how their rulings age. And the documentary complicates arguments about jury bias or media prejudice by showing that even jurors who admired him still convicted, suggesting this isn't tabloid noise, but documented patterns. That's why sources say Diddy isn't angry just because a documentary exists. He's angry because it erased plausible deniability, raised the reputational cost of helping him, and locked his case into a permanent digital record judges can't ignore. Any intervention now risks looking less like justice and more like protection of power. Add to that 50 Cent strategy, keeping the narrative alive without needing to prove anything legally. And the case becomes socially loud, morally expensive, and professionally dangerous for anyone involved. So no, Diddy hasn't technically lost his appeal, but the environment around it has shifted completely. Because what powerful people fear more than prison is losing control of the narrative. This isn't cancellation, it's reputational foreclosure. And once that happens, there's no spin, no reset, and no way to walk it back. Which brings people back to the same question. Why did Snoop Dogg go completely silent the moment this story exploded?
Put it up a little bit more. Let me see how that. Oh yeah, dang.
You know what I'm saying? We don't hold our man hand. We shake it and get it back in our pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got Diddy and Neo, and if you heard Neo's wife call him Little Diddy, that he like freak off, get high, get freak off. They all baby oil you up.
Oh man, what the hell is that?
You know what I'm saying?
Yo. Not him and the son. That's the son, right?
Yeah.